I mean, at least it was my
You're
hands.
good.
At least I wasn't furiously rubbing anything else. Oh God, that's on the recording. Fuck. Okay.
It is, yeah.
Right. So previously in the adventures of vaguely uncoordinated monsters trying to do something maybe good in a world which is completely and totally batshit sideways, you guys were going around the Apsel estate trying to find a way to interrupt a arms deal that was going down between Dusty, the main drug kingpin of the Trosh criminal organization, and the group known as the Royal Academy, a group of shiftless and now pretty much totally amoral monster hunters turned mercenaries, assassins, and general bastards. You'd previously talked to, let me just find his name here, Father John Dovey, who ran the local church nearby the estate and was actually a previous associate and hunter for the academy themselves. Through a fairly in-depth conversation and sharing your motives, he's agreed to keep his ears open and use what experience he has with the group to see if he can find out where the deal is going down. Otherwise, the estate is still fairly well open. It's entering late afternoon. He has directed you towards the local bar, the Gunner, where Estelle Jaeger, the landlady, is supposedly a friend of his and may be able to help you further. The estate itself is also lying large on the horizon. At this time of evening, some people are coming back from work. The average person in this estate is not necessarily gainfully employed, but you are starting to see more and more people in tracksuits, jeans, and hoodies, loitering around, smoking, drinking from bags. Generally, the place seems to be livening up, but possibly not in a particularly hospitable way. The average person on the street is ideally just trying to get home as fast as possible.
Okay.
Oathkeeper.
Yes.
While you're in the church, do you do anything other than what you have previously done with John Dovey? Having a discussion with the priest. I will basically put it to you in maybe one of three ways. Are you basically just lingering around until someone comes up with something to do? Are you observing anyone else that may enter or just keeping your eyes open for other people in the church? Or are you contemplating and kind of opening yourself up to the energies within this place?
I'm going to say the latter because I imagine what he might actually do something he hasn't done in quite some time and kneel before the pulpit and pray.
Oh, fair enough. Sure, yeah, if you want to do that. Feel free to pierce the veil for me.
It is an old habit, one largely forgotten. But
I mean, there is a elderly lady who is sitting in the back row who is wondering why this gigantic man in plate armor has decided to come in and start praying, but we'll think better of trying to mention it. Yeah.
Let me pull up the list of basic moves again.
Here's the veil. Plus Eerie.
Plus Eerie. Is that one of my bad or complete shit stats is the question.
It's just zero. It's just zero.
Yeah, it's just zero.
I mean, that's not terrible. And I mean,
look, I'm good at exactly one thing.
I'll put it to you this way. Something entertaining is going to happen no matter what the result is.
That's boxcars, baby.
I don't know what that means.
That means I rolled 2 6s, so a 12.
Damn, son. Okay, that's fair enough. So you kneel in front of the altar, and it's a fairly Spartan place. They haven't gone in for the full Catholic ornamentation and gold filigree and everything. It's a simple oak cross on an open altar, a red cloth covering it. The light spills in the failing kind of daylight now, illuminating it in a ambient, somewhat pleasant way, but nothing is necessarily washing over it. And do you say anything while you pray, or do you simply just bow your head in contemplation?
I think he merely bows his head. He does not say anything out loud.
That's fair enough. So, as you kneel and you look at the altar and you see the red cloth, as you lower your head, your vision wavers. And in your mind, the altar grows and lengthens as it becomes a throne. The red spills and becomes fluid as it spills down across the ground, pooling at your knees and spreading around. The world around you goes dark. You are before your own throne. In the distance, you hear something. You hear crying. It's distant, possibly female. It seems to be coming from away, but almost immediately behind you.
He will turn.
You turn, and the void continues, this big black expanse. But in the distance, you do see another throne and a figure, a bit indistinct from this distance, but something or someone sitting upon it, hunched slightly. The sound of crying continues.
He will cast a glance back at the what is left of his liege's throne, and then can march towards this new something.
You head towards it. You do look back, and as you look at the throne, a feeling comes to you of a duty, a compulsion, a need to do the things that must be done. But if you wish to pull away from that and move away towards the other throne, you can.
That is what drives him, but he is also curious about this vision. Go ahead.
I would just say, while you are standing there, possibly contemplating this, another tone layers over the weeping. It's low and it's soothing. It sounds possibly like someone coddling a crying child.
Does the weeping appear to be coming from the direction of this other throne?
It does. So does the sounds of comforting.
He will head to investigate. There is no king upon the throne he once served.
That's fair enough. So you head towards it, and the expanse doesn't follow the conventional realm of space and time, and it feels like you're walking and making no progress, and then suddenly the throne you're walking towards comes towards you further and quicker than it could have if you were just simply walking. And you can see that this throne looks similar to the one you had walked from. Its carvings are slightly more ornate, slightly smoother, slightly more feminine. And the one thing that is very clear and very different is it is soaking with tears. The figure sitting on it is not necessarily running all the way to fat, but well proportioned and soft. Definitely a body that has not been particularly suited to heavy work. A man of slightly androgynous features, but long, slightly clammy, light blonde hair, pale features, and red eyes, completely red without pupil. He sits, one leg gently folded over the other, his feet bare, clad in a just clingy white cheesecloth robe. And he is making this gentle cooing sound to what looks like it may be the size of a child, but has no form, but is weeping and crying all the same. And at this distance you can hear, why did they have to go? I needed them still. What am I going to do without them? I loved him so much, and now I can't even face mornings anymore. And the figure, with a soft, sad smile on his face, just leans closer to what seems to just be a kind of tangle of air in his arms and whispers something into it. And the weeping catches for a moment, and then fades. The figure lets out a long, sad sigh and looks up at you. And you wake up. You are still kneeling in the chapel. The sunlight spills over the crimson, a slightly more lustrous crimson, it almost feels, of the altar.
To be sure, this seems different than what I would figure would be his normal visions of those who need to be punished for avenged for oath breaking and the like.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'd imagine those are normally a lot more visceral, a lot more emotive.
Right. This one was quieter, and he is uncertain if he was genuinely interacting or with something in the ether or merely seeing something that has already occurred.
Yeah.
Gives him pause.
No, that's fair enough. If Amanda is at least partially halfway through slaying,
Amanda is fed.
Okay,
She has been sated.
Speaking of sating things, could you give me your start of session roll?
Sweet, cool. Let me remember what that is real quick. Either way, I'm rolling 2d6s.
Mm-hmm.
4! God!
Oh dear. Well, that's going to be
a
good time, fun time. Right, so, sorry.
Why are you sorry I chose this life, or did I?
I didn't choose the cult life chose me.
That's, yeah.
The cult life brought me into being, okay? Okay, fine. What are you doing just kind of while everyone else is sort of while the Oathkeeper is keeping his head bowed in contemplation?
Probably just,
stealing from the communion plate. making out with some of that sweet church wine.
shoving those little wafers under their mask. Like some kind of fucking robed gremlin.
You got anything other than plain?
Oh man, the body of Christ really could use some salt.
Has the wine yet been marked for communion?
I mean, there is a case of wine sort of stashed in one of the little broom closets. It's not particularly good quality, and it just says in rather badly translated Latin with English underneath it, just for those of us who do not know it.
Welsh's grape juice.
Well, blood of Christ.
Okay.
Sangue da Jeezy or something.
There you go, or.
Or is honestly probably just leaning up against a wall, arms folded, foot tapping, you know, looking bored, but also like, let's get this show on the road.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. You're standing.
I'm sure there's a little grub that's just kind of on Or's head.
It's found a tiny mitre.
Yeah.
It's got a rosary wrapped around it. No, stop it. Anyway.
It's currently chewing on one.
Is that blasphemous?
I don't know. It seems to be enjoying itself.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're kind of idly waiting there, and you feel a certain kind of little seed of impatience, a sort of riled feeling starts to rise up within you, and it takes you a few moments before you start to understand that, admittedly, this is definitely some part of yourself, some part of your own personal sentience that is a little bit tired of the fact that we keep on wasting time when we could be doing the thing we need to do. And then you realize it's a little more than that, that there is some restlessness that's coming from elsewhere, that's coming from where Azalvo sleeps. And you realize, rather unpleasantly, that it's, unfortunately, despite what you did in the nightclub, it's been a while since you've fed the sleeping one. And it is, well, basically, it wants its bottle. Metaphorically speaking. And you feel a knot form inside you, this hunger, that kind of craving you have when you haven't eaten in almost like more than a day, and you just know that the minute you're going to find something you can sink your teeth into, you're just going to go at it.
Yeah.
So yes, for the time being, you'll have that hanging over your head. Let me just make sure I've got everything lined up here. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, forgot to mark that. Lovely. And while we're here, Echo, are you shenanigansing around, or are we all going to assemble and start formulating where we go next?
I mean, she's exploring.
No, that's fair enough. But I mean, are you asking permission to explore, or are you simply just poking?
I mean, she pulls the hood up and everything.
Oh, fair enough then. Cool. Are you going to look for anything in particular, or do you fancy just ambiently? But basically, do you want to read a scene, or do you want to just have a general pook? It is plus sly, which would be your good thing.
Yeah, why not? We'll read a scene.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, give me 2d6 plus your sly.
May I suggest one from A Midsummer Night's Dream?
No.
Okay.
Just destroyed.
I have another D6 somewhere.
Power of d6 compels you.
Oh, there it is.
I dare say, if hard pressed, you could roll the same one twice.
Right?
Like some kind of peasant? Like an 8? Okay, fantastic. Right, so feel free to ask me one of the following questions. Have you got the moves up?
Yeah, I do. Read a scene.
Or if you feel like there's something there that you would want to ask but you can't, feel free to just pitch it.
What's the safest route to what I want?
That's fair enough. What do you want? Like what? Like in an ideal world, what would Echo love to find?
That that plot of land that Spring Heel Jack was talking about. So like, what's the safest way to like get a ring or from one of the
Well, you do know that Father Dovey did work for the Royal Academy, he probably has a ring. I mean, unless he got rid of it, but he seems like the sentimental type, the kind who would actually probably hold on to that as some kind of token. Did you say safest or fastest?
Safest.
Safest. Safest would probably be if you were to ask him about it, and from what you've understood about the way people work around here, offer him something in exchange. He might be tempted to part with it.
Okay. Yeah, she'll go to. Is he like chilling out in his rectory or something?
If you go back to his rectory and kind of knock on the door because he's locked it, there'll be kind of a bit of banging and crashing, and then he kind of comes to the door, kind of opens it, goes, "Oh, do you want to come in?"
If I may.
Sure. Come in. He kind of opens the door a bit further, and you can see there's a great big old ham radio now sat on the desk with some headphones and an old book opened up next to it. And he's like, "I was just checking. They use a lot of kind of lesser known wavelengths. They don't talk much in terms of actionable data, but they often use like code words and stuff like that. Sit if you need something. I'll just be getting myself a drink quickly." Heads over to the cabinet, pours himself a scotch. Is there anything else you needed?
I am aware that you, as you were once one of the...
What were they called again?
Royal Academy.
As you were once a member of the Royal Academy, that you had a ring.
Yeah, we all had signet rings too. It was showy, but it was a good way of just proving who we were. They're hard to fake.
Do you still have that ring?
I do. I start to wonder why you might want to be knowing about this.
There is someone who wishes to trade one of said rings for information on where it is I can find someone who will give me a plot of land of my own.
Ah, that old song and dance. I know the way these people work. It's like, you give me this and I give you that, so you can give this to this one and that can give that to that one. And nothing simple here, is it?
And so it seems. Although the end goal, the one I must speak to, he owes me much.
Understandable. It's often hard to get hold of people who owe you a good deal. Well, the ring does naturally hold a lot of sentimental value to me, I suppose, but it's not exactly like I get a lot of use of it out of these days. And I suppose if you're willing to be discreet in the way in which you do your business tonight, provided things don't get too bloody and don't spill out into the estate proper, I'd be willing to hand you my ring. I mean, in the event that things do go wrong, you could probably relieve one of my old chapter brothers of theirs, but it will be a bit of a hard time getting it off them. Don't suppose this would be for some vampire, would it? But yay high, legal bloke.
Yes. You know him.
Oh, killed his wife. Yeah, that'd be why. The mate. His partner, his loved one. It was a very...
His consort.
She probably would have objected to that. He also probably would object to that, now that I think about it. I know this is coming from outside point of view, vampires are naturally parasitic. They don't. In theory, they could establish some kind of balance. They could feed off people in a way that doesn't necessarily kill them. But there is this compulsion for vampires to take what they want, to take whatever they love and corrupt it. And I understand that the guy hurts and the guy is torn up about what he became, but he turned his wife and then lost control of the situation. We had to track them through so many boroughs, so many dead, and he is still holding this grudge. It's like he doesn't even understand how many people died. If he wants the ring, then he can have the ring, but just bear in mind he will probably put the hard word on you for more, and I would say do not indulge him. He's got to learn to let go at some point, otherwise we will have to go for him again. And we will have no half measures that time. Sorry, this is probably confusing to you. It's probably not much help.
What was promised from him
He'll
was communication with someone I need to speak with. I'm not interested in doing other favors for him, for there is nothing else he has that I need.
Good. If he does press you on precisely where you got the rings or the names of people who may have been attached to them, don't indulge him. It'll only encourage him. But no, if you're able to do this and we don't hear about it on the news, then I'll be fine with handing you my ring. If it turns out that's not the case and things do get out of control, the gentleman who will be selling off their product will almost certainly be holding theirs as well. You may just have a harder time getting it off them.
I see. Then when this is done discreetly, I will return.
I appreciate it. I will, he gestures to the radio. I'll keep my ears open and I'll call your friend with the mask when I've got something.
Did you have a meet?
Honestly, never found the time. I went straight out of the service into the academy and then pretty much straight out there, straight into the clergy. So I've got friends and that's enough. I do hope you're not propositioning me.
No, you're much too old.
He kind of raises his eyebrows and smiles and goes, well, I didn't expect to get shut down like that today, but, well, guess today's full of surprises.
This was insulting.
Don't worry about it, love. It's just the way people, humans in general, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of suggestive eyebrow waggling, and it's all very much just subtext and innuendo. I imagine you lot have it a lot easier than we do.
No, we do not. Yours is so simple. I remember the relationships that my mother's followers had.
Followers?
Our colony. The humans under our care. Our relationships were simple.
So yeah,
Something so easily broken. something so unimportant to the species' survival, for your kind is so prevalent in the world.
Well, some would say that's what elevates us above the animals. Some would say that's what makes us no better than them. Honestly, it's a matter of context and opinion.
I am not yet established for my own colony. I am not yet prepared to seek a consort.
And
But
when
they
you,
must be someone of equal to me, an exceptional human, and one not of my colony.
he kind of folds his arms and leans back slightly against the desk. And when you say exceptional, what sort of things do you look for?
My father was strong, intelligent, wise in much of the world. He was an equal to my mother in wits, in planning, and discipline.
Admirable qualities, I suppose. And was he kind? Was he a good father? Did he make you feel cared for, loved?
Humans have so different connotations for caring for a child than we. But I know he did his best. I miss him, if that tells you much.
Sounds like a good man. Forgive the curiosity. I've just old habits. I like to know more about these sort of things. But
It is for that that I would seek someone of my equal,
understandable.
who would do well for me, to shoulder and to carry the emotional weight of, assist me in carrying the emotional weight of the entire colony, and to help me care for my young.
Well, you can find someone like that, you'll be finding a better husband than most of the bastards around here.
That is why I say your kind have it much easier than mine.
Look, I deal with a lot of kids who come from families where they're missing a piece, a mum, a dad. And I know it may look easier, but it takes a lifetime to raise a child, and it takes an instant to break them. There are people out there who will probably be able to be the kind of person you need them to be the kind of right father for them. But do at least try to see it from our point of view. We're capable of being very casual and very heartless in the way we treat other people, but at the end of the day, if we ever want to be better people, we have to be raised and treated well by the people who are responsible for us. Don't write us all off. It's just hindsight that makes the difference.
Interesting.
Like I said, love, Humanity is a strange, contradictory thing that even we're still not completely sussed out about, so I wouldn't expect you to get a handle on it that so quickly. Anyway, I should get back to this.
Very well.
I will be in touch.
She nods, and then she will stand up and leave.
Cool. Meanwhile, in the chapel. So yeah, you guys have enough time to get back together, and yeah, you have a direction towards the gunner, if you wish to go there, or you have got enough time that if you want to do, say, scout out the estate a bit more, you could do that as well.
No, I say go straight there. I have new priorities.
That's fair enough.
Made aware.
What's his name again?
Father Dovey.
I have been made aware by Father Dobie that he will give me his ring if what we do is discreet.
How discreet?
Nothing to make the news.
She says as if that's like a totally foreign word to her. So she doesn't like quite understand it either.
I mean, she knows the word new, but usually it's not a noun, so there's no plural
Yeah, like
of it.
That's weird.
Okay. Doable.
Our last target recognized us. Can be assumed if we show ourselves at their place, they too will recognize us.
So you're saying don't be seen at all?
If you wish to avoid a confrontation.
Well, it doesn't seem like we have much choice.
The other choice is to wait for the priest to ascertain the location of the deal, which will likely be made somewhere discreet.
See, I dislike that word you said.
Ascertain?
Wait.
Deal?
Wait.
Little lady goes in the back and goes, ascertain?
Wait.
Discreet?
This is turning into a Martha, Ricky, Dr. Scott fucking situation. God damn it.
Recall that our goal is to stop this deal. If we force a confrontation now, we may fail in that endeavor.
I will, for free, give you guys 2 pieces of information. One, if you just leave it for Dovey to find out what information he can, you will only know any kind of intel about what the Academy are going to be doing as part of this deal.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, you do still have a phone with which you can call up Atreyu if you do need to get any kind of off-site help or information. Bear in mind, he's probably a little busy right now.
He's fine. He's the one that brought us here.
I mean, he's got to have something to do. I believe he was... Well, I guess we did give him the idea that there are a few things he should be doing in the meantime. So
yeah, he as far as you're aware, he's trying to find a way to relocate Maria somewhere safe.
Yes,
Do you
Uh,
wish for me to scout?
That's maybe wise.
Yeah. A couple of yeah, she will let a couple of grubs sort of like crawl out of her arm, and they will take flight. And she's just like,
Where is it I am to scout?
I mean, you pretty much have two main locations you can look at. I mean, there is actually no. To be fair, I'll be generous and say there are maybe three. You have the lower half of the main council block. You have the upper half of the main council block, and you do have like the surrounding buildings.
Do we have like some sort of map or something to point out?
I will actually say, like out the front of the church, there's probably a little tourist guide just letting people know precisely where they are relative to the council estate and how the fuck they can get out of there as quickly as possible.
that's
The
fair.
Oathkeeper intends to head to talk to that friend of the priest, since anywhere he shows up is not going to be subtle.
I mean, if you guys want to split up, by no means is that necessarily a bad idea right now.
And said friend of a priest is at that bar, right?
Yeah, she's the landlady, so she runs it.
I mean, yeah, if we've got 3 locations, we got 3 characters, let's split up, gang.
All right,
I
sure.
will join you at this bar, but my brood will scout for us.
That's fair enough. That feels like you're going to be calling upon your swarm to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll crafty. It's a very delicate task.
Mm-hmm.
Scouting. So where is Orr going to be investigating?
Investigating, read stabbing people in dark alleys.
Whoever's got the darkest alley. The bar
mean-
sounded good to me, but
Well, that's where those guys are going, but it's quite public. Obviously, public house.
everyone's got a trash bin in the back.
I mean, basically, there is the council estate, like the council block itself, is pretty fucking big.
hmm
Like, if they have surveillance or if they have guys wandering around there, it's not like they've got people at checkpoints.
All right.
You can solid snake your way around there if you really want to.
That does sound, because you said be discreet.
Look, there's just a rash of people falling up the building, completely accidentally and drained entirely of blood.
You know, 'tis the season.
The council at least be appreciative they don't bleed too much when they hit the ground. Man, it's just like dropping a dry sack of potatoes. Just
Okay, so
okay. So what did you roll?
I got a 13.
Nice.
So where was Orr investigating again?
So you're going to be going into the block itself and having a poke around the kind of the lower levels, not the high levels.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Then the upper castle. Then
The upper castle. I like that. No, that's fair enough. Right, and then the main part of Echo and the Oathkeeper. Brain wasn't there for a second. We'll be going over to the pub.
there's also the little grub that's still hanging out with Orr.
We get it. Echo wants to be everywhere at once, Nate. We understand that you like to be in all the scenes. It's fine. We love you.
He's got you there.
Isn't that just what the swarm does, though?
I mean, basically, yes. I mean, there is a move specifically so you can actually physically just go, boom, and you're there. So, yeah, it's pretty much there fuck with people. Brilliant. So we're going to start with your swarm going to the upper levels because that's nice and quick to do, and then we'll do and then we'll go over to the pub shenanigans, which will be interesting. So yeah, your swarm goes up. Is it just kind of going around the outside, or is it trying to be a bit more invasive? Because with a 10+, I'll let you have a gimme there.
It's gonna be invasive. It's gonna like get. Basically there's like the couple of these grubs are gonna get into goddamn everything.
Nice. Yeah, the council estate itself, the huge block itself, is a big old 1960s brutalist just slab of concrete. But as you go further up and up and up, you do start to, I mean, it does become slightly more obvious that there is a lot less decay. It seems like these upper floors are a little bit better maintained. There's definitely a lot more people, a lot more kind of older, slightly more physically more well-built people kind of wandering around, kind of keeping hands tucked in pockets, heads up, but looking around. A few of them look at you, look at the kind of the grubs buzzing by and with a rather confused expression, but don't think much more of it. But as you get to the top of the block, the design of it changes quite drastically. The one thing that's very obvious is that almost every single door is barred for the top 2 levels, apart from the one right at the top. It's like someone has basically taken the top 2 floors and turned them into a small fortress. The other thing you notice, well, the person you see, which you do recognize, is Dusty, who is standing, looking out over the estate, smoking a cigarette with a rather exasperated expression on his face. He seems to be talking with someone on a phone. He seems quite agitated, but eventually manages to kind of signs off with a, all right, yes, just keep your eyes open, and if they do show up, then be fucking polite for a change. Don't kick off shit again. Snaps the phone shut and puts it in his pocket. Just lets out an exasperated, fuck's sake. What I won't give to be in a civilized part of the country. Like hell. He gestures over to one of his men who is openly carrying a shotgun. Just casually slung under the crook of one arm. Goes, all right, they'll be here in a couple of hours. Make sure the boys are well prepared. Get the shit. Have it by the flu. When everything's cool, drop it down there. We're not going to do any kind of stupid bullshit with these guys. They are far too fucking dangerous for us to try anything cheeky. Plus, you know how Louisa gets. Now, if we do this properly, this is us, all right? We move this, we're done. Now, if anyone does start to give you lip, if anyone even gives you the whisper of having dodgy ideas, take care of them. The bloke just nods quietly, gestures over to the stairwell and goes, yeah, go on, fuck off, mate. Flicks his cigarette out over the estate and then stamps back inside, looking equally frustrated still. So yeah, you the swarm definitely sees where Dusty's penthouse is and sees that there is only one direct route in.
Okay.
On the plus side, I'm assuming they're going to try and go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will say you can get a rough idea of the layout. There are a couple of rooms which do seem to be fortified, but much of it just seems to be an open living area. He seems to have kind of punched holes in walls just to make sure he's got as much floor space as possible. And it's kind of okay. It's kind of tastefully done in a I've had to take a council flat and make it look as nice as possible sort of way. Big screen TV, sofa, just various other stuff that he's kind of piled up over the years. But the one thing you notice that's very useful, the locks on the door are very simple from his side. This means basically that he can lock them very easily. It also means it doesn't take a lot of skill to unlock them from the inside. So in theory, a grub in the right place could just slam itself into the locks in the right way and unlock the door.
Okay.
So you know where he is, and you have a way in if you need it.
Okay. One of the grubs is going to return to Echo to convey all of this.
Okay.
And the other is going to is going to they chitter amongst themselves to formulate a plan.
12 angry grubs.
Just two. It's just two grubs. Two angry grubs. An odd couple of grubs.
Oh god. Half of their hideout's messy, the other half is immaculate.
They're the Ryder and Ellie of grubs.
Oh.
One of them's going, I think we can take them.
Just gonna burrow into them.
The other one's going, no, we need a plan.
So basically one grub tells the other the idea of give me some kind of signal and I'll unlock that door. And the other grub is just like, yeah, but does he have a cat? And the other grub is like, what? Oh, yeah, I guess I'm hungry too.
Oh no.
And then they remember what they're here for, and one shoes off while the other will find a nice, comfortable place to curl up and wait for a signal.
Stop making me emotionally attached to these goddamn grubs, you asshole. Oh dear. Cool. So we'll pull back from there.
If he has anything in a nice, dark, damp place where there's something to eat, it curls up there.
If it finds a nice crunchy cockroach and just goes to town on that, in like a crawl space in the wall, just gonna crunch, crunch, crunch. It's like eating a cucumber whole. Just
yes.
So pulling it back from there, or stab happy times with Or.
You don't know.
I'm sorry. What's all that blood?
Come on. Can you wait for... We just found out we only need to wait for 2 more hours.
A lot can happen in 2 hours.
You'd be surprised how many people I can kill in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, the lower side, the kind of lower areas of the estate are a lot more decrepit. There is graffiti. There are people kind of just ambiently milling about. There's a couple of shops right at the bottom, which some are still risking being open this late. A lot of them have already shut. A couple of people kind of hurrying back home after pulling shifts nearby. You do notice that from around here, at the very least, there are sort of odd clusters of kind of younger people, maybe kind of mid to late teens, kind of just ambiently milling around, glaring at people who walk by who are clearly not part of their group. And a few kind of wandering around here and there, kind of looking at phones. Something you can at the very least gather from here is that there's almost certainly a few people around here who are part of the crew. It's just a case of you're not entirely certain who is.
Ooh.
But there's a reasonable amount of people still just milling around, and the lower access areas are mostly just slightly isolated stairwells. There's a couple of lifts. One of them seems working, and a bunch of kind of odd little bolt holes for people to have a smoke or just get out of the rain. So it's a little kind of semi-labyrinthine structure running underneath the block itself.
Good, I can do well on that.
No, that's fair enough. So, are you going to be doing something for the purposes of satisfying your master?
Yeah, for my own purposes, yeah. For my own deep, dark purposes.
That's fair enough. So I guess the question I should really be asking here is, are you being picky, or are you just going to isolate someone and shank them?
I'm going to be slightly picky, because I am trying to keep the idea of discreet in mind. So no one with a phone, no teenagers, because those are very high profile, like in the news instantly, sad young life lost today, yada yada. If I could find someone who looks maybe aimless,
just someone without a sense of purpose or a smartphone, they deserve to die.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're trying to find a homeless person to kill.
Someone who it could be reasonably assumed maybe it was an accident. Maybe they were just down on their luck and decided they couldn't take it anymore.
God, good old-fashioned hobo stabbing. Oh dear. Right. Could you give me? Well, I'll say this. Do you want to just look around and wait for an opportunity, or do you want to try and actually pick someone out and bait them?
Baiting would be safer because I could get them to a more quiet, isolated place.
Yeah, but that's a thing.
Throw a coin; it'll lure someone in.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, if you want to go for that, you can give me a charm. If you want to like manipulate someone so they kind of lose themselves there and isolate themselves, you can give me an influence, or you can just read a scene and just wait for an opportunity.
I kind of like the idea of influence because I whenever I do this and we make a scene out of it, I really like the idea of making it just really creepy and out of there.
Please do it.
So similar to the first time I did this where I gave a truck driver nightmares, I kind of want to isolate a person and fuck with them a little bit in a similar nightmarish vein to where maybe the lights start to shut off behind them in like a boom, 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 kind of from the far off end towards the beginning, towards them, and sort of route them that way.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. roll me spirited. Give me this shit.
10.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, you do that. I mean, you manage to pick off someone who just seems to be. They look like they're in their kind of mid, maybe late 50s. Overweight, balding, sporting mag tucked under one arm. Seems like they've just come back from some meeting or gathering or something like that. And he's kind of just ambiently just wandering through the place. His breathing is kind of slightly wet and heavy. He does seem like the man who has absorbed more than his fair share of pies. And yeah, as you kind of, is this like do you actively try to scare this guy, or are you just making it more and more insular and kind of singling him out?
Like the subway scenes in Silent Hill.
Jesus. Okay, fair enough.
Before it goes to Silent Hill, like when Heather is wandering around the subways, before things get like bloody and rusty, where it's just kind of like weird and gray and creepy.
Well, that's fair enough. And how do you introduce yourself?
A subway passes, and there's a person staring at them. This head is rapidly vibrating.
He just passes the subway and just buys a footlong. It's like, where the fuck did he get a sandwich in here? This is my nightmare dimension. God damn it.
He's stronger than he looks.
Eat fresh. Eat terrifyingly, horrifyingly fresh. Oh, God. Okay, so yeah, so how do you introduce yourself?
I'm wondering if I should, or if I should just let this person get lost until I'm ready to siphon.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, when I say introduce, that could be via the tip of your knife.
Yeah, that was my main thought.
This is totally fair. If you
or doesn't like to speak too much when working.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, basically, what I'm coming at here is, the more you do traumatize this guy, the more you'll actually get out of it. So,
oh, all right.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like you're a horror movie monster. Horror movie monsters spend a lot of time just freaking the fuck out of their victims.
Oh, okay. So then maybe the area becomes super labyrinthine.
That's fair enough. So it stops just being I'm lost and starts becoming the architecture's making no sense anymore.
The walls start to close in little by little.
Oh man. Fair enough.
Is it like a matter that he looks behind him and the wall's a little closer than it was before?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, he just kind of goes from confused to panicking, just kind of gasping under his breath, kind of moving to a kind of a faster shuffle.
And you know what? There's a door in front of him. A
Yeah,
pristine wooden red door with an eye on it.
Yeah, he kind of is looking back at the wall while running forward, turns back forwards, and just kind of runs face first into it with a kind of staggers back, bangs up against the wall, which is now almost right up behind him. Kind of, what the fuck is going on? Fuck it. And just twists the knob and pushes it open.
There's another one.
And a notification, apparently. You have one new nightmare. The door kind of closes behind him and he kind of looks around confused, pushes forward and knocks open the next door.
There's another one.
Come on! Just slams into that one now, like just trying to bash them open.
There's another one.
I will ask you now, are you trying to weaken him? Are you trying to wear him down?
Yes.
Right. Could you give me a menace? Because now you are simply using like the threat of force to just wear him down. So give me a wrath.
That's a D10.
Yee.
That's what I wanted.
Ow.
7.
That's fine. You can still right. So they get to pick one of the following. So what are you trying to basically achieve from him? That he gives up? That he goes into a panic?
I'm basically trying to disorient him so much that he will open a door and my knife will be on the other end in him.
Right. I will say he is definitely panicking. But he kind of gets to the door and starts trying to kind of catch it out. He keeps looking back at the other door as he backs over and keeps that one open and starts backing over to the other door, trying to figure out a way of possibly finding a way between the two of them. So he's in a defensive position, but he's not looking at the door he's about to open.
All right. Then I'll open it.
That's fair enough. So yeah, he's still looking at the door he came through when you open the door, and he turns around and screams. Just lets out a high, what the fuck is going on?
And then it's knife time.
It's fun time, knife time. Nice. Give me traumatize. So give me another just flat D10.
Okay.
And I was going to say, you've got bleed on that, don't you?
I do.
Take +1 on that.
Oh, thanks. That's another 7.
It's a useful tag. Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, so you can deal an additional harm. You can reduce a harm that you may be taking. Get what you want from the situation. Considering all the setup you've done, I doubt that would be a problem for you. And I don't think the other two would really be particularly useful right now.
Dealing the harm, because what I want is blood.
That's fair enough. Yeah, so you just are you sticking him like in the heart, in the neck, in the guts?
Oh, in the heart's so good. That's where the good blood is.
Oh god, you're just like, oh, satisfying.
Yeah,
like
just follow him downwards to the ground.
That's fair enough. Yeah, like
breathing at this instant and satisfying sigh of relief as the blood just is absorbed into the blade of the knife.
Yeah, you do get a face full of this guy's corpulent jowls just sort of wobbling indignantly for a second, then going pale as the blood starts to leave his body, but he kind of slams back into the concrete. You do, however, feel a thump in your side. And you do notice that he has managed to jam a fountain pen into your side. Do take just 1 point of harm just for that, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I've got to deal with that now.
Alright.
But no, you otherwise you drink in this moment of absolute satisfaction as you draw all the vitality, all the kind of ichor from him, and you feel as Alvo become restful again. Not content, but restful. But yes, you leave a very, well, not completely desiccated necessarily, but definitely empty husk of a mortal at your feet.
Does he have anything edible on him?
I mean, there's him.
There's a little squelching.
Ah, I would say one thing though.
A very small squelching sound as your grub friend escapes from his gut.
Oh,
Alien style.
Just out the belly button.
Oh. I'll make a little motion to
it chews its way out.
I'll make a little motion to have him crawl back on my arm.
Yeah, it does so.
No, that's fair enough. And so we pop back to the non-terrifying nightmare stab world.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a dead body on the floor.
I mean, it's out of the way, hopefully, but I will shove it more out of the way if I need to.
I mean, it's just that he's on the floor and he's kind of a fat dude.
It's all right. It's okay.
No, that's fair enough. So you're just going to try and roll him off into like a sort of a darker area or like a little alcove or something.
Yeah. And you know what?
Cool.
I'll take the pen out of my side and I'll put it right back in his pocket.
Thankfully, DNA does not work with monsters. No, that's fine. Let me just see. Could you? Because I was going to say, I believe you have the move that makes this much more useful. Yes, you do. Give me feel nothing, which means you roll plus cold.
Yes.
I mean, plus eerie instead.
Yeah.
Just so you can dispose of this body in a way that does not immediately attract lots of attention.
No problem. 9.
Yeah, that's okay-ish. So you get to pick one of the following from the list. You can either make a mess of it or leave it half done. It can be slow, tedious, or wasteful. You can make a scene or leave a trail, or you can be tormented by what you've done.
As much as it pains me, I'm going to go for slow, because I am a small being.
There is only so much leverage you can really get on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of like, easy, and then go, fuck, okay, this guy's still very heavy, even without all the blood. And there is just an awkward roll, and as he rolls over, like a bit of intestine pops out of the hole in his belly button. You've got to poke it back in, otherwise it'll just start oozing. And yeah, it's not particularly pleasant, but eventually you roll him end over end, and he kind of flops into kind of a lower alcove, which is apparently some kind of drainage ditch, but it's enough for him to kind of flop in there and just look like some drunk who's passed out.
I gotta say, this hilariously went from super hardcore horror to black comedy. Like,
that's
really
my character.
I mean, that is all in a nutshell. It's brilliant. Just terrifying. Like, apocalypse cultist is also like, God damn it, gotta clear up this shit now, for fuck's sake.
I've learned a lot in the human world, and it's mostly sarcasm.
Snarky cultist.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you have satisfied your master. Are you going to try and accomplish anything else while you're here, or are you mostly just going to use this as an opportunity?
I mean, I did need to scout out a bit.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Reading a scene if you want to, or
Yes.
you can, if you want to socialize with people, because this is the thing, you look more human than anyone else. You look weird, but you look human. You could, in theory, connect or charm. This would maybe result in a how do, fellow teenagers.
Sure. You know what? I am actually better at connecting and connecting than I am with reading a scene. So
you're first gonna need a team name, though. What is Or's? God, what is it?
My favorite pop and my least favorite pop.
Yeah. Like what is Or's favorite pop and then least favorite pop?
Fuck it. Big K citrus drop.
Hello, fellow teens. I am Big
K.
I mean, to be fair, Big K works.
But yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I am okay. I'm rolling now
Yes.
to get some information with my word mouth.
Yes. So yeah, give me plus eerie.
11.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, you kind of. I mean, to be fair, like you're wearing a cape with a hood. You are shiftless and difficult, and have a hard time related to people on an emotional level. You fit right in with a bunch of moody teenagers. And you kind of find a couple of the ones who look slightly more alternative. Like, not a huge amount of them do look that kind of way, but there are one or two who are, wearing metal t-shirts rather than just sports tops, and all seem to be hanging around together. And they kind of notice you and kind of nod appreciatively at your cool ass mask. And yeah, one of the guys, kind of a larger guy, goes, "Hey, I'm Shaq. Nice get up, man. What's up?"
Hey, not much. Just checking out the scene.
See, man, are you fucking kidding? This place is a fucking war zone.
What happened?
He kind of looks looks down the road as a bunch of the others do, and you can see there's some flowers tied to a lamppost. He goes, "Mate, this place is fucking crazy right now. I don't know where you came from, but you do not want to hang around this fucking place. You will get chipped right the fuck up, mate."
Why do you say that? I can take care of myself.
You see, he kind of glances over to there's another group kind of a bit further away, larger, and they all seem to be kind of somewhat more uniform, and they all seem to be wearing darker blues and whites. He goes, "See that lot? Fucking connected them. Just if you need to get anything sussed out, I mean, they can help you. Just do not fucking test them, all right?
Or what?
Or someone will stick a fucking kitchen knife in your neck and leave it there. You get me?"
I get you.
Like, where did you come from, mate? You talk like you come onto the fucking Absol and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just new in the area." It's like, fuck off, mate. You're not here unless you got a reason, or you're in a really bad fucking place.
You let me worry about what I need to worry about.
There is a communal ooh from the group. So yeah, do you want to ask? So I mean, this is just casual chat that you can get for free. Do you want to ask them a specific question?
From the list of questions, or just anything in general?
Well, I mean, this is Connect, so feel free to ask pretty much anything, and whatever your answer is, you can take a +1 regarding that answer.
Okay. Oh, I'm trying to think of what the most helpful thing to ask would be. Probably about anything recent that might be going on, but why would they know?
Well, those connected people might be members of the might be members or have connections to this either the people, one of the parties that in the area that we're after. So
yeah, they don't look like Royal Academy. Of course, then what do I know?
There are a bunch.
You can tell if they're wearing a ring. If they're wearing these signet rings.
I will say something for free. The academy is slightly more elite than a bunch of street level teenagers.
Yeah.
They tend not to do like an intern program.
Help me out here, GM. What do you think should be my first line here? Because I feel like I've got a lot of... I'm having trouble like narrowing down what I want to ask.
I mean, from what you know, you do still need to know roughly where the deal will be taking place, who would be conducting the deal. So likely locations or people who could be involved in that might be worth asking about.
So I could probably ask, like, are they the people who are involved? What's going on? I wouldn't say tonight, but I'm not
Well,
entirely
like if
sure
you
that it's
like if
tonight.
you want to like I was going to say because these guys do deal, you know, they're kind of exchanging cash or drugs.
Yes.
If you asked how you could score, you might get a rough idea about how they deal and how they move their product.
Ah, okay. That's much smarter. Thank you. It's almost as if I've never bought drugs before.
Fair
Well,
enough.
that I just don't believe.
Look, she deals with a better class of. Anyway,
Yes.
so you are you going to ask for a hookup?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you make something. You make a kind of casual inquiry, but it's casual enough that they don't know one gets suspicious. And
Yeah. You know, I'm new in town. I need to find a dealer.
yeah, Shaq just kind of looks at you and goes, "Well, I mean, I got an 8th on me, but if you need something more than that, then yeah, have a word with those guys. They'll probably want to see the money up front. I mean, they obviously fucking do. They're a bit more organized around here than you might be used to. They drop their stuff down the down the trash flue. Basically, you give them the money, they get the word upstairs, and then they drop the gear down the actual chute. So they'll walk you down to the car park.
Mm.
Don't get flighty, otherwise they will fucking put the boot to you. Trust me on this. They don't really give a fuck at that point after they got your money, but if you want to get your shit, then that's how you do it. I can make an introduction if you really do need it.
You know, I would appreciate that.
Just before we do this, what the fuck do you actually need? Just so I don't walk up there and you ask for some dumb designer shit.
What's wrong with dumb designer shit?
They don't fucking sell it, is what? Look, if you need smack, if you need weed, or if you need, they got some. I think they've still got some MDA here knocking around. You need any of that? They're good. You need anything else more complicated than that? Look elsewhere.
Okay.
All right, come with me. Don't make me look like a cunt. Yeah, and he'll lead you over, and the kind of susurration around the group in blue and white kind of lowers. One of them catches Shaq's eye and nods. He goes, "All right, who's a superhero?" Shaq nods and goes, "Newbie, just interested in making a purchase." One of them looks over at you, kind of lot of facial piercings, slight rash around the corner of their lip, and goes, "All right, what do you want?"
Angel dust.
Kind of, it gets a bit of a laugh from around the group. Goes, "Fuck me, bit hardcore, are we? All right, got some party animals coming in. How much worth are you looking for?"
GM, how much money do I realistically have in my pocket dimension right now?
I think the better question is how much money did that fat man have in his pocket?
Hey!
I'll say you probably got about 30 quid.
I will tell them that is how much I have on me right now.
Yeah, if you kind of pull that money out and kind of hold it up, he looks at it, looks at you and goes, "Fuck, mate. Well, I suppose I shouldn't be expecting too much more from someone wandering around in that fucking Halloween mask." Picks it out of your hand and goes, "All right." Just gestures to one of the others, young girl. He just kind of goes, "All right, take him down. I'll send the word up." Pockets the money and starts pulling out his mobile phone. And girl, maybe about 12 years old, hair pulled back, kind of young black girl, just kind of goes, "All right, come with me. Come on." And head
Are
just
you really 12?
Yeah, come on. What sort of question is that? Look, you just fucking weirdos. Yeah, and she'll lead you down towards where the car park is, which is a kind of subsection below the estate itself. It seems like it's built directly underneath. It's not guarded. There's no barrier. It's basically just open air parking, but underground. And yeah, underneath there's a lot of cars. Some of them have just been wrecked. Some of them are just there, parked casually, but none of them seem to be particularly nice quality. And you do see, as you walk down there are a few people casually smoking, kind of sitting around, looking around. They all seem to also be wearing blue and white. But yeah, she leads you over to near to the center of the car park where there's a couple of garbage, kind of big green garbage bins. Kind of waits by one, rests against it, and goes, "So you going to a rave or something?"
Yeah, you know, just want to check out the scene.
Yeah, don't really get that much more these days. Mostly just get people smacked out their faces. But I suppose your funeral. She's still giving you very quizzical looks.
Yeah, especially since he laughed so good at that.
So I need to get a proper fucking job.
Again, are you really 12?
Look, I don't eat much, all right? I'm a bit stunted.
I feel you.
You'd try living on a diet of fish fingers and fucking chips. Anyway, a little silver packet just falls out from the air flue and hits the top of the bin, slides down, she catches it. Right, here you go. Don't do it all at once. You'll probably die.
Looking forward to it.
Whatever, man. You're fucking weird. Go on, get out.
That's what people do, right? Look forward to death.
You're in for a hell of a shock. Wait, people didn't like dying? Oh no, I feel terrible.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Did I do that? Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, you gain +1 bag of angel dust.
Hell yeah.
Time for a party.
Yeah, who likes PCP?
Grub, no.
No. Actually, no. That's going in the other sleeve.
It's very curious.
Oh dear. Right, so yeah, we'll leave you to.
It smells like pure rage.
Mm.
It smells like the desire to eat someone's face. Cool. So
I have learned how they set up deliveries, take payments, and that they love the colors white and blue.
Yeah, see, intel gathering and murder
and drugs
Like, enjoy that good shit. We will. I would just love it if this thing goes down, the shit hits the fan, and Or decides to just take a massive dose of angel dust just to see if it helps. Just like, fuck it.
Enjoy getting just really angry.
Just lifting a car and hitting someone with it.
Yeah. Tear a car in half. Fuck it.
Just wield it like fucking nunchucks. I should just break a person in half and wield them like nunchucks via the spine. But anyway,
no man, use the legs. Break them in half and then use their legs like a very long whip.
Oh god.
BusinessInsider.com. Here are the terrifying signs that somebody is high on angel dust.
All right.
Are they screaming and covered in blood?
This article starts off with the phrase, "I've never used angel dust, nor do I have a desire to."
That has to qualify.
Oh, lordy. Anyway.
I'm just going to say screaming and covered in blood is probably going to be a rapidly expanding demographic here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's my normal Tuesday.
Just Tuesdays? Amateur. Right, so yeah.
Gotta use one of her days off to relax.
That's right.
Just let it all out. Let all that blood out. So yeah, as Or heads off to enjoy their bag of drugs, we will pull back and we'll go over to the Gunner, where Oathkeeper and Echo are heading off to have a word with the landlady. The pub is open. It's not particularly busy at the moment. Apparently the World Cup's on, and England's playing, so everyone's pretty much inside. You do notice that out front there is a sign saying "No football being displayed." By order of management, which probably explains why it's so quiet there at the moment. But yeah, the lights seem to be on. You hear distantly on the wind, England! You hear the sound of brain cells dying.
What is a football? football?
I believe it to be a sport of some variety.
God, what is the fucking... Hold on. What is that Aztec precursor to basketball?
I knew you were going to go for that. I can't remember what it's called, though.
Here we go.
Deluxely. Much like Deluxely. Interesting. I played that at my colony. I was not aware that there are other sports out there.
Well, that's fair enough. If you guys are all right with precluding your further discussion of sporting events until later, yeah, you can head inside if you wish to. You could go around the back if you wanted to, be more discreet, but if not, you can just go in the front.
The problem to the front.
I mean, it's probably the quickest way to get the attention of the landlady.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So you're going in the front?
Sure.
All right, yeah. You head inside. It's a kind of standard old English style pub, like badly textured carpets, bar stools, that kind of low lit, a kind of red and gold look to it, which looks like it could have been easily stamped from any other pub in the kind of rest of the country, basically. Kind of low smell of cigarette smoke, even though it technically shouldn't be allowed indoors anymore. The place is, again, as you could imagine, pretty much abandoned. There's a couple of people at the bar, one or two in blue and white hoodies, a few more which are just kind of wearing general casual clothes. And there is a rather solidly built woman behind the bar, kind of brunette ponytail. She's got a set of glasses on her face which look a little bit out of place for what she would normally look like, but is currently in a rather animated argument with one of the people in the blue and white hoodie. One of the blue and white hoodies, who you kind of walk in as you hear her go, "I do not give a fuck what he wants. You are not using my fucking bar for any of your dirty shit, all right?" And the person she's talking to in the blue and white hoodie just goes, all right. I just wanted to point it out to you. No need to get fucking aggro, love. Kind of raises their hands in a somewhat defensive manner. Yes, come on, boy. Kind of a slow turn from both parties involved as they look over to the door. You see you see the woman behind the bar kind of close her eyes slightly in a animated expression of exasperation, whereas the you're still wearing your hood?
Yes.
The guy in the blue and white hoodie looks towards you and kind of frowns, goes, "Excuse me, did I fucking introduce you into this conversation?"
What is the word aggro?
Kind of looks back at the other ones that are flanking him, kind of looks back at you and goes, "Like a fucking introduction, mate. I told you, you are not introduced into this conversation. Shut the fuck up, sit down, or fuck off."
But what does word aggro mean?
Love, I'll give you a fucking demonstration in a second.
I would advise against that. He says, looming over them all.
Echo is just like all but ignoring their threats.
What is...
And hold on.
I was going to say, are you going to menace?
That's probably a menace roll.
Mm-hmm. Give it to me.
7. They pick one.
That's fair enough. they're going to get into cover. Basically, they are going to not leave, but they're going to get into a more defensive position. The two or three of them, which are kind of flanking him, all back up into a bunch, and he stands in front of them with his arms folded. But you definitely have seemed to have put him on edge. He goes, "Didn't know fucking Comic-Con was on already? Exactly what the fuck do you people want? I'm trying to have a conversation here. I don't need you people butting in."
The definition of Lord Aggro.
Ugh, if you keep up that shit, I'm going to have a fucking problem with you, all right?
But I do not know it.
The woman on the other side of the bar just runs a hand over her face and goes, "It means that they are intimating violence," I think is the phrase.
Oh. Well, that is probably a bad idea. What is it that is frequently done in this place?
Drinking, I suspect.
Well, then I will do that.
He will turn back.
The woman kind of nods along with that and goes, "That's roughly the idea."
I will
have a drink.
I merely wish to speak with the proprietress. If that is she, I will wait till you are finished.
Guy just kind of looks at you, both of you, and goes, "Oh, fuck it, this ain't worth it. Come on, you lot, let's go." And they kind of head towards the door. One of them shoulder checks Echo.
Hold up.
That sounds like a good opportunity for a bug to get on him.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Guys.
Hold up.
I'm just gonna direct you to what I said in the chat. I managed to kill a man, steal his money, make teenage friends, and use the stolen money to buy drugs. You cannot blow this in the first 2 minutes.
Look, it is not my fault that there seems to be 0 people on this planet that take a look at Oathkeeper and go, maybe I shouldn't pick a fight with him or his associates.
I will point out one thing to you. In the UK, if someone is walking around in full plate armor, they are considered to be a fucking nerd.
One of them historical
Okay,
reenactors.
but this is a very large person in full plate armor, so while they may be a fucking nerd, they are probably not.
They're at least a bit
scrawny and weak one.
I mean, again, this is the thing. It's like just in a modern context, people will not imagine you are actually a crazy person in armor.
One of them Norwegians.
Okay. Whoever was going to shoulder check her is actually charmed.
Okay.
I got a 7. She said that she is coming here to drink, and she is small and clearly foreign. And they realize this, and they will buy her a drink.
What did you roll on that?
7.
One of them will split away from the group. One of the younger ones, as the rest of them kind of head out the door. Kind of stops
Whoever
by.
it was that was intending to shoulder check her anyhow. That's who I was charming.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm just trying to flavor this in a way that kind of makes sense contextually. They were just going to go into the go, "No, I can't do that to you." But that. No, I will say that one of them kind of thinks about it for a second, then kind of slows down as they walk by. Just kind of leans over to you and kind of goes, "Look, mate, this is not a good place to start fucking around and asking dumb questions like that. If you want something, then go and have a word with her, and then I'd recommend you just get out of here." Look, I've kind of pushes a £5 note as your hand and goes, "Look, just have a drink on me, and then take my advice, get your mate here, and get the hell out. It's not going to be good to be around here in a couple of hours."
Interesting.
And then, yeah, just kind of heads off. I imagine we just kind of cut outside and kind of the person just kind of stops for a second, blinks, flashes back to that hand I put in was very chitinous, and then kind of goes, "Fuck it, I'm not getting into that," and then just walks away. That was not skin I put that at. That was not skin I just touched. So yeah, you have +1. You have +1 £5 note, and the interest of Estelle, the landlady, who is now leaning against the counter with a, as you can see now, somewhat tired-looking expression on her face. She's propped the glasses on her head.
Apologies for the interruption.
She seems to have gotten a better look at you, looks at the two remaining people who are sitting at the bar, just goes, calling it for a night. Go on, get out. And they, without much complaint, just get up, finish their drinks, and head off outside. She just holds up a finger, goes, give me a second, wanders over to the doors, drops the deadbolt. All right, I will admit, this is the first time one of your lot has actually walked in through the front door and not started tearing people's heads off, so I guess I should take that as a plus.
The priests... I gathered that would be considered rude.
I am uninterested in the severed skulls of human beings.
Echo gets a look from Estelle, which I imagine Echo was starting to notice from a lot of mortals when they have a conversation with her. The singled cocked eyebrow and sideways look.
I will have a drink.
Sure.
What's the $5 note on the counter?
She kind of walks behind the counter and goes, what do you want to drink? She kind of starts to lower her head slightly to kind of see under the hood.
I suggest give her whatever. I do not believe she knows the difference yet.
Correct.
All right. I suppose I can always do. So that would be safe. And yeah, she feels.
No, actually, no. She would know the difference.
Mm.
I don't think she'd be very familiar with the kind of things they serve in an English pub.
True.
That probably all the beers are more or less interchangeable to her at this juncture.
No, she asks for wine.
Oh.
Because it stands to reason that there would be wine in the village as like a ceremonial thing.
Yeah. She kind of looks at you. She folds her arms, looks behind the counter, and goes, "Well, I got red and I got white. Both are room temperature, so it's pretty much even shot either way. What do you fancy?"
Red.
Yeah. She kind of unseals a screw cap bottle of red wine. It looks about a third empty. Takes out a large wine glass and just pours it 3/4 of the way up. There you go. Don't worry about the change. And for the big man?
Nothing for me, thank you.
All right, then, well, what do you want?
Remind me, what was the priest's name?
Father John Dovey.
Father John Dovey suggested that you may be able to assist us.
Oh. Shit. All right. So we're going through this again, aren't we? Right. So me and him do go back a ways, and I imagine you guys are here for some specific reason. Most likely the reason why gestures to the door. Those idiots were here.
That seems likely.
It'd be a hell of a coincidence if it wasn't. Fucking Dusty. Bringing all sorts into this estate. All sorts of dumb fucking deals. And what kind of part do you want in all of this?
We wish to interrupt the deal.
But not in such a way that it makes a loose
noise. The father has asked that we
Noise.
keep things discreet if possible.
All right. I can see that he's clearly had a decent effect on you lot. I suppose, is it just you two?
There is a third.
All right. So, what can I do for you, I suppose? I mean, anyone who wants to fuck up Dusty's stuff is more than all right by me, but...
Do you have any idea where this deal would be taking place?
Well, not here. I mean, those lot were trying to get me to stay open after hours to keep some extra people around the estate, but I'm not going to be fucking putting up barracks for that lot. So they're probably going to start popping people into low-level flats around the place. They do this whenever they got some kind of big deal going down. They always like to stash hideouts here and there. That way, if anything does get hot, they've immediately got people to hand.
Do you have any idea where the actual handover would take place, or where they would be directing the other party?
Last time they did a deal, standard issue as normal. They brought them down to the underground car park. Cash changed hands. Product came down the flue, like they do with the standard deals. They just scale it up. They just run more stuff down there. Lookouts on the doors. I mean, it's standard stuff. If you've been here for long enough, you'll know how they work. It's just the police have never got enough guts or firepower to actually come down here and force to stop them.
You could... If suits of armor could smile, I assure you that we are short of neither.
Well, I'm not exactly happy to hear that you'll be going in there full bore and cutting heads off left, right, and centre, but...
I cannot speak for my compatriots, but my personal quarrel... My personal quarrel is with the coming party.
Well, I wouldn't know precisely who those fuckers are. I mean, John's kind of cagey about everything apart from, I suppose he talked about the whole werewolf thing.
He has mentioned it.
When that happened, he told me enough for me to do what I needed to do, but he didn't tell me a whole lot more. And honestly, I don't want to know. My life is fucking weird and hard enough as it is, dealing with the fucking people who have to just live here without having to deal with... It just gestures at both of you and goes, I haven't got a fucking clue. But, yeah. If John says you're all right, I'll believe him. And if you need help, I'll help you. I mean... I just don't know how much I can really do.
Information is what we require most, and you have already been of assistance. This underground car park, what are the ways to enter it?
Well, you got your main intake and outtake that's on north side, south side intake and outgoing as well. Fire escapes on both sides, and there's an access fire escape down the center of the building as well. That's normally how most of the kind of heavier stuff comes down as well.
And they will have sentries posted at all of these entrances.
Like I said, Dusty's not exactly short for manpower. He'll have just kids looking out for anyone coming by, and then he'll have his proper dudes further in there.
Kids.
It's the way he works. He picks kids up when they're young enough to at least do the things they need to do in terms of running and moving the money and moving the product. But the people around it, the people close, they all got wet. They've all done stuff I'd rather not talk about too much. Just there's a reason why this place is so bad. It's because he is very good at taking perfectly decent kids and just making them do the worst things.
This Dusty, what ostensibly is his role around here?
He's the fucking tumor in the center of this whole fucking place. You put me in a room with him, I'll tear his fucking throat out myself. He is everything that's wrong with this place.
Does he have some manner of official position, or is his status purely criminal?
He's got a lot of cash, a lot of guns, and no one fucks with him. Call that what you like.
Has he ever broken any promises to you?
That's kind of the problem. One thing that Dusty's good at is playing by the rules. He's never fucked anyone on a deal as far as I've heard of. He stays in business primarily because people know what you pay them for is exactly what you get. All the young people, all the young ones who come in here and try and take his business, they're always trying to play some angle and fuck someone over, and that ends up undoing them. Dusty's all reliable. Could always trust on him to do exactly what he needs to do.
Sounds as if it is a...
She sneers.
corrupted colony.
What's the saying? It's a crooked game, but it's the only one in town. Pretty much this. You want to make any money. You want to get out of here. You got to make some money somehow, and he's the best route to it for a lot of people. John does his best. I try to kick a bit of work to people here and there, but this postcode on someone's job application, it's a fucking death sentence. We're what, like 70% unemployed in the block? It's just a fucking nightmare.
And he holds it back.
I guess he would. I probably wouldn't want it any other way. Nice little earner for him.
And he does poorly for his colony.
I suppose you could say it like that.
I will kill him. Those people, you do not have to worry. I know you seek a reason to go for him. I will do it for you.
Estelle's eyebrows just raise, and she kind of looks at the wine glass, looks at you, and goes, "Well, let me put it this way: you do that, you will not be reaching for your pocket for a drink in here anytime soon."
Good. I have much to gain through his death.
Yeah, she kind of pops the top off the red wine bottle and just kind of holds it up in a kind of cheers motion.
You've made her night. Finally, one of these weird things coming in here is going after the guy instead of working for him.
She's like looks at the raised glass.
What is this?
I believe she wishes to make a toast. It is a celebratory ritual where you lightly clink the glasses together.
Oh, very well.
And she does so.
Thank you.
Cheers. And she'll take a slug from the bottle.
Echo just keep sipping it because that's what you're supposed to do.
She's more dignified.
Oathkeeper is admittedly somewhat curious why of all the human ritual all these human rituals you seem unfamiliar with, but the proper way to drink wine is something you're aware of.
She has an answer if you ask.
Yes. Perhaps at a later date. He has business on his mind at the moment. He will... Is there anything else you feel we should be apprised of?
She kind of rests her hands for a moment in kind of thought. Well, I mean, kids on the kids they'll have out there will probably not be particularly. I mean, they get one look at you two, they'll probably just piss themselves and run off anyway. They're not there to do anything other than just shout a warning and leg it. But there's a girl on the estate, young girl. Her dad's no good anymore. He's pretty much just there to pull the checks and put the odd meal on her table. But she kind of makes a kind of rough high gaze and goes, girl called Tandy, black girl, about 12 years old. She's I'm doing my best with her, but she's still hanging around with those. And if you say that you're with me, she'll probably know the smart thing to do. She might give you a way in.
Your help is appreciated.
Just please, you get an opportunity. Just take him. You'll be doing these people a big favor. You'll be doing these people a big favor.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. Little do the rest of us know you already have a very good way of getting to him. But he will nod.
Oh my god! I just wish that the other grub came back at that point.
Well, we'll just take a moment there. I'm just going to do a bit of a directorial thing where the phone starts going in the pub, and as that rings, and as Estelle walks over to answer it, or your phone goes off.
Where am I at the moment?
Where are you? Where are you doing?
Hopefully not in the middle of this fucking drug deal, because there's nothing worse than being in the middle of a drug deal and your phone rings.
I would say you're walking out as your phone goes off.
Okay, cool.
I was actually really hoping it was gonna be, yeah, where the fuck am I? That shit was crazy.
12 hours later.
Or finds himself on a rooftop wearing only the mask.
Oh, you don't want to know what's under these roofs.
Massive tentacles.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, your phone goes off. It's Atreya's number.
Hello.
Hi. Now, who's this?
You called me. What? Who's this?
It's a woman's voice. Seems quite perky.
Yeah.
Hi. Now, would this be one of Atreya's friends?
Friend is a really heavy word. Look, I don't know. Does he owe you money?
I hope he has friends right. I bet he hopes you're friends right now because he's gonna need them. So I'm Trixie. Hi.
Hi.
So I've got Atreya and I've got Maria, and well, I guess this is kind of a bit boring because we're going to make the negotiations and we're going to make all the things. But basically, we're going to kill him unless you bring that parchment thing, the god parchment thing, to this address. I'm just going to text it over to you. Basically, if you don't do that in, call it 6 hours, we're going to start doing things to those guys that will be bad for, everyone involved.
Trixie, you said your name was?
Yeah. Hi. What's your name?
Hi. You can call me Or. Thank you.
Oh, hey, Or.
6 hours. Where are you? 6 hours.
The kind of text comes through, and it's an address to a manor somewhere sort of out of the way. It's still a London postcode, but it does seem to not be a particularly central location.
How far? We're gonna need to ride the car, aren't we?
Possibly.
Yeah. What is it you wanted? Let me just.
The NGS, the scroll thing, the thing that the Russian guy was going to get from the nightclub. You know him. He's dead, and
Yeah.
everyone else there is dead.
Mm-hmm.
He killed a lot of people. I was looking forward to killing him. He was rude, very handsy.
Can I who can I say that you work for?
Oh, I'm working for Mary. I'm working for Mary.
Ah, all right, all right, all right. Do you like PCP?
Kinda, but I don't think I should be having some right now. I mean, I think I kind of no. Be good.
So it's
No,
the scroll or nothing. Okay, there's nothing else I can.
Oh yeah, I mean, let me just make this clear to you. And the kind of a bit of a kind of scuffling motion from the other end of the phone, and then you hear Atreyu kind of. Oh my god! What the fuck? Who is this?
It's or.
Oh, okay. That would explain. Right. And then there is just this scream and a sound of gristle.
Okay.
And there's a bit more scuffling, and Trixie's like, "Hey, so that was his hand. So if you start asking any more questions, I've been told just start pulling bits off them. Because we don't. I mean, Mary doesn't really mind how she gets her meals. It's just a case of whether it goes in the right hole. So yeah, 6 hours, and you bring it, or we kill them. So bye, and click.
Huh.
The grub is now gnawing on your phone.
I need that. Thank you. Okay.
We can leave that for a second and just quickly pop back to the pub, just for the other phone call.
As I start to think really, really hard about what to do now. Don't die because I'm contractually obligated through several means of magic, and that would really hurt me as well. All right, I'll think this over. Yeah.
Luke?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, did we lose him?
Did we lose Zach?
No, I'm here.
Okay, so we've got us. Roll call.
Roll.
No, that. Oh, there he goes. He's gone. Bye.
All right, I
Oh,
got
there
I got a 6, Manda. What was I rolling for?
That's. Luke, are you there? I wonder, because I gave Atreyu. Nope, he's gone. Because I gave Atreyu's blood to the god. I wonder if I can pull some sort of shenanigans.
Mabes, what moves do you have?
I don't really have any moves specifically that say that, but Atreyu is one of the few people who has given the god his blood that is not dead. So I'm wondering if I can.
Well, didn't you give him some power?
That is a part of my conduit move. That when I meaningfully fulfill my master's need, I get a favor. I usually only get one favor per fulfillment.
Well, you did fulfill your master's needs today.
I did.
But he was sorry. I was going to say I return after apparently losing connection for a moment.
Hi, welcome back.
Also, I think Nate, your fan is just right in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Yeah, I was going to say the thing is because you rolled a flat miss on your beginning session move, you're in want to begin with, so you would have to fulfill it again to start gaining favor.
Yeah. I was just wondering if I could do anything since I gave Atreyu's blood to the god, and Atreyu still lives. This is a situation I haven't found myself in before.
If you want, you can pierce the veil again and try and like open up that connection you made previously.
That might do it. But yeah, go on to the other scene while I try to see if there's any strings I can pull.
All right, sure. So where did I cut out, just for the sake of it?
Before you moved on to the next scene.
Oh wow, entirely then. In which case, yeah. So yeah, back in the pub. So the phone goes, and Estelle picks up the phone quickly, and for a moment, just kind of goes, "Yeah, they're here. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like super happy about murdering Dusty, which is like." She pauses. No, I know I shouldn't be just advocating for the murder of someone, but you know him. He's a complete. No, I'm not coming into confession. I'm not coming into. All right, I'll come in next Sunday. Are you happy now? Fine. Look, we're just going to take care of this and. Okay? Right, fine, good. I'll pass it on. Anything else? No Hail Marys? No Our Mothers? No? Great. She closes, just puts the phone down. Okay, so apparently we have a rough idea about who's showing up now on his side. Is everyone muted? There you are.
Do go on.
Sorry, I just saw all three people muted and there was no response. I was like, oh God, I'm disconnected again. That's cool. She goes,
I'm muted.
Good man. She goes, okay, so white panel van coming in from the east. Apparently 3 people, Helsing, Belmont, Crane. Apparently they're bringing a case. Apparently it's just the one. Didn't say anything specific about the cargo, except it's still good, whatever that means. Should be coming in, looks at the kind of her watch, in about 45 minutes.
Then we had best reconvene with our third and begin getting into position.
She kind of looks around and goes, I guess you guys are kind of good with what you got, but if you need any extra firepower, I do have a couple of things in the basement.
I believe mine own armaments will suffice.
She looks you up and down. She looks at Oathkeeper up and down and goes, I kind of figured, but you never know. And gestures to Echo. And you good with whatever I'm guessing is going on under there?
Yes.
All right, more for me.
There is one thing, however.
Mm-hmm.
The father has requested that we minimize the disturbance we create. Anything you could do to distract or otherwise help prevent those up here from noticing would be appreciated.
Well, I suppose I guess I could. She looks over at the large screen TV that's on the wall. Fucking football.
Gonna eat a fine.
Yeah, she goes, well, I can definitely get their attention for a while, but if you start blowing shit up, obviously that won't make too much of a difference. Yes. Game's on in 15 minutes. I can get the word out. I could do with the money anyway.
I do not know the value of these, but if they are worth something, you are welcome to them. Oathkeeper will put a handful of old coins on the counter.
She kind of she just stares at them blankly. then picks them up, looks and walks over to a shelf which has several several foreign bills and coins and a piece of cardboard with 5 just crudely scrawled on it, and just dumps the coins there.
They are ancient.
She's just like, fuck it, whatever.
I mean, I don't know how much she knows collectors or antiques, but probably worth something to that crowd.
It's possibly not the right audience for that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she might know some. Maybe she knows some people in another part of the city or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
I really hope that when we get an epilogue, that her bit of the epilogue is we just see her at Antiques Roadshow, having the surprise of her life.
Guy's just like, these are worth about £50,000 at auction, and they are cursed as fuck.
And the piece of cardboard with 5 on it'll actually bring in about 10,000.
Yes, apparently this is actually done by Banksy. The irony is that would probably actually be worth quite a lot.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What's the old quote from somebody? Somebody asked Picasso to pay for asked for Picasso to pay for a meal with his autograph, and he replied, "I want to pay for a drink, not the whole establishment."
Fair. Right, so are we reconvening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you reconvening?
I hope that we set that up.
I assume that since you don't have a good way of since you wandered off by yourself and you don't have a good way of contacting Oathkeeper, at least
Probably the church, right?
Set up something in advance.
The church, probably.
Probably.
The church would be the focal point you would all remember with the location.
At least outside the church, if we didn't want to potentially make more of a scene by going inside, but yeah.
That's up to you.
Then again, if it remains as empty as before, it may be more subtle to be inside the church.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I would say within about 10 minutes or so, you will manage to find each other in the graveyard.
Perfect.
Outside the church. And yeah, it's now fading into kind of early evening. There is already a very heavy pull in the air of oncoming weather. Deep, dark clouds rolling in.
So I have good news and I have bad news.
Bad news first.
Atreyu and the daughter are kidnapped. They're going to be killed in 6 hours. They're at this address. A lady named Trixie called me, said she was working for Mary, and they're cutting off pieces of their body to feed to her.
That is
You will not be long for this world.
That's a very rude thing for her to do. Who is Mary?
There is one thing I do not understand. Were this to be our enemies?
Oh yeah, Maria, sorry.
Yeah. No, she definitely said that she's working for a Mary.
Yeah.
We don't know who that is, as far as I am aware.
That's what Echo was asking. Who is that?
Just GM-wise, that's just Trixie being scattered and weird. And
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know that, though.
I can only assume it's Maria.
For the sake of not confusing the players.
Right, but she said she's working for her. We wouldn't think that she's both kidnapped and is working for Maria.
How many people do you think want to eat Louisa Trosh right now? Giving you some lateral thinking ability. It's unlikely that there are two supernatural cannibals both trying to eat the same person.
Yeah.
But okay, then I will have Right, but here's the thing. I will. He meant feed her to Louisa.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Louisa is the one being.
Maria is the girl. Louisa is the mother.
I understand now.
Oh, yep. Sorry, that is me actually getting the names backwards. Sorry, it's Louisa who's in charge and Maria who's the daughter.
Got
I'm
it.
a dumb motherfucker.
Yes, you actually used Maria for both parties in the during the phone call, which
Yeah,
used Maria and Mary. So I
Sorry,
was
I fucked that up. Sorry.
that's fine.
I was temporarily confused.
I see.
I got the idea of it, but if only because I forgot the names myself. So it's like I get it. The daughter is she's being held, kidnapped, and ready to be eaten by her mother. Got it.
Then, in which case, we can assume one of two things. Either this is a third party more interested in the contract than the girl, or this is a trap and they have no desire to hand over the girl, and they intend to double cross us and take the contract and still kill or hand over Maria.
I really don't.
Very few people have been forthright. I expect nothing from them.
I don't necessarily want to take any chances. We are bound by blood and soul to Atreyu, and if anything happens to them, then something happens to us.
Actually, or no, that was never mind. He did say that it was the idea was if something happens to both of them, something happens to us, right? That was what was told.
That's what he said.
Because he said we can kill, basically, because the guy at the nightclub said we can kill Atreyu and then work on unbinding you from Maria.
Pretty much that is that Atreyu sold you on the idea that both of them need to be alive, when in actuality, as long as one person is still alive, that's all that's needed to actually keep the bonding there.
Right.
But both of them are captured, so.
Yes.
Yes.
Very well.
I will admit a small fondness for Atreyu.
I will admit a small fondness for being alive.
I will admit a very large fondness for being alive.
Then we need to do something about this.
We must attend to the matter at hand first. 45 minutes, now likely 40, until a white van arrives with 3 members of the academy. They have a single crate full of merchandise, though what it is, I am unaware. They are making their deal in an underground car park.
I've been there.
Then you can help guide us.
That was my good news.
Evidently, they will have children as lookouts at the entrances, but a specific one, if we mentioned that we are associates of Estelle, may let us pass without raising the alarm.
I met one of them.
We are looking for a young, dark-skinned girl by the name of whatever she said, because I forgot already.
Tandy.
Tandy.
That might be the one I met. Oh, she really was 12.
Then I suggest you approach first, as it will take but one look at me for her to realize something is amiss.
One of the grubs comes back. sidles up to Echo. She kisses it on the forehead, and it climbs into her shoulder blade, or like into her shoulder. She kind of like looks around.
45 minutes.
Yes. Also, the proprietress would seem to be most pleased if we manage to kill this Dusty as well. She is not fond of him.
And I can do that. I know where he is. One of my grubs stand poised to unlatch the door into his home.
Well then, let's do this quickly. We've got a lot of work to do tonight.
So it would seem.
Nice.
Fortunately, I do not require rest.
Now, we have been going for almost 3 hours. Do people want to take it, call it here, or are we okay to go a little bit longer?
I'm okay to go a little longer
Up
myself.
to you, my man. You're the one who has to
Yeah,
sleep.
you're the one with...
I'm fine to keep going.
I will have an opinion that I would kind of like to call it here, just so I have time to do something. Like, as much as I am enjoying this, and I am greatly enjoying this, do not get me wrong, I would also appreciate to have time tonight to do something that is not this as well.
In which case, can we just have a very quick thumbnail about what you are going to do individually to set this up in the last half hour before this thing goes down?
Okay.
Sure.
And then I'll just get a roll from you each.
Going to...
So you can write the next session, huh?
Yeah!
Here is my suggestion, that Atreyu and Oathkeeper take care of the deal.
I was going to say, Atreyu just pops out of the shadows like, ha! I was fine all along.
It turns out that we can summon him as well.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, actually, Or might literally be able to summon him. That is entirely possible.
We'll see what'll happen. That is something that I want to do, is see how far I can push my luck with my young sleeping god to help another member of this budding coven.
Here's
Which is currently me. And maybe Atreyu I haven't asked, but because usually whenever I take blood, they're dead.
Here is what I suggest. I suggest Or and Oathkeeper take care of the deal, and in particular, Or's preparation should be to get Tandy to not raise the alarm, so we have an entrance we can get in without immediately raising the alarm.
Yes.
And I suggest
my
idea was to have
that Echo goes and just
you
kills
be ready,
this man.
You be ready to assassinate this guy, because he is probably going to send. He has some of his force at the deal. He will probably send more once we start, and he will probably be less guarded if you are intent on going after and killing him.
And actually, if you're gonna go after him and kill him, maybe I will give you a knife as a present. You kill two birds with one stone, literally.
Do you say it as a gift?
Yeah, I'll give you a knife as a present to use specifically to drain the blood out of your victims.
Not giving her a bag of angel dust.
No.
Here's a knife. Here's some PCP.
Is this because you know very well that Oathkeeper is perfectly capable of causing a lot of blood loss on his own?
I'm just trying to cover all my bases and make sure there is a knife wherever blood loss may be.
Just like the idea of most people like, I could have a knife.
I mean, he could, but he could also have a very large sword.
I know, just like it's the thought that counts.
I mean, if at some point you want to give him one currently, he will happily add to his armory with useful magic weaponry.
Magic knife.
Given the chance.
Makes the blood disappear. Where does it go? Who can say?
He doesn't often really need a knife, but you're working together right now, and if he doesn't need any of his other weaponry in particular, he might do you a solid and off someone with the knife for you.
That's a wonderful thing to do for me.
Awful
So-
story.
Echo will also do you a solid and off this man.
Knife team.
Team knife.
There we go. That's the name of the team. Team Knife.
Team
I mean,
knife.
I believe you have expressed that if you do not do this thing, the world might end.
I have said things similar to that, yeah.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So,
Which,
while Oathkeeper is not necessarily against it, he's less for it than against it. Well, let's just say.
I don't need that kind of hassle.
Yes.
So we've established that what we're going to do next session is Or and Oathkeeper are gonna go try to save this little girl, pretty much, while also doing the deals.
Yeah.
And then Echo is going to go kill a man. Specifically, what I would like to do also on the side is I do want to make a Pierce the Veil roll to see if I can help Atreyu from afar or not.
I think maybe if we want to stick to one roll right now, maybe do that after everything goes down next time.
There's
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
thrown out there. Before I was saying it before I forgot I wanted to do it.
Fair enough.
That's okay. I'm taking notes as well.
I suppose for what Oathkeeper will do. Actually, you know what? I know. I think this would be a Pierce the Veil. Would Oathkeeper have to roll something to know, since he doesn't have the exact wording of the oath, but he does know generally of the oath. If there is an actual phrase or something, basically to know something that he can say to the Academy people to sort of immediately instill them with a sense of dread. Like, if he says, like, the oath, recites their oath back at them in such a way that they're like, oh, retribution is coming.
I will say if you want to roll for that, I will come up with some cold shit for you to say.
Okay, because the idea would be that he would do something that he knows exactly what they've done and what he can say to rattle them about it, rattle them about their broken oath.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I'd say call that I'd say that could be a traumatize, or it could be a menace. It could be
okay to just know will be like using it. I know will be a traumatize, but is he allowed to just know?
Oh no, I was saying for that
because using it will be a trauma will be a menace rather too.
I would actually probably say because I'd imagine you've probably run into these guys previously, but this is maybe not something where you've run into them quite so extensively.
Okay, he might have run across them before, but this is probably the first time he's ever like actually needed to target. This maybe is the first time they're his target.
Yeah.
All right. So he might already know of the oath.
Yeah, I'd say yes, but flavor that as a connect instead.
Okay.
So same roll, just basically.
We'll give that a try.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to be a sneaky.
Be a sneaky little bug.
Oh, be a sneaky little bug. And I used my banked advancement
for
earlier
chameleon.
on Chameleon. So I'm going to use that.
Cool, give me them rolls.
I got a 13.
Jesus.
I rolled 2 5s.
Fair enough. So yeah, you fall outside, you'll blend into the situation seamlessly. So are you going to send your swarm up, or are you going to send your entire body, like, fully infiltrate the location?
I think it's gonna be I believe it's gonna be controlled chaos.
I assume you're going yourself because you seem to have taken this guy's acts very personally.
I would probably say, because if this is Chameleon, this is you are trying to integrate the whole group. So
that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, you can pretty much. Are you going to try and like scale the outside of the building, or just flip from shadow to shadow?
Just kind of flick from shadow to shadow, scaling parts of the building.
Yeah, you Assassin's Creed your way around the building, avoiding the kind of occasional guy who's kind of patrolling around. And as you get to the top floors and everything starts to get blocked in and shut down, you artfully roll over the side of the balcony, hop onto the edge, and just launch yourself vertically upwards to catch onto the next ledge up. And
Perhaps like when she needs to do something like that, like several grubs crawl out of her back and start flying at once while attached to her.
She does a little glide. Oh god, she can organically double jump. I'm so mad. But yeah, and yeah, you effectively, when you do this, it falls back to how you would naturally stalk through the jungle back home. You would be able to discern where people would move and how best to fall outside of their line of sight, and how to scale these odd but kind of easy to navigate surfaces. And you are able to hop on top of the building entirely, get onto the roof of Dusty's complex, where you can lay out of sight, at least for the moment.
Probably fondly remembers being taught to hunt.
Yeah, it probably does feel quite a lot like a hunt.
Yeah, and it probably makes her feel kind of warm and fuzzy.
That warm and fuzzy feeling just before you disembowel someone.
Like being taught by her mother how to hunt. It's like, oh.
Aww. So much nightmare feel. Cool. So, or do you want to just quickly run that Pierce the Veil for me?
Sure. And then next session, I'll actually do all the charming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We're going to do it in that order then. Sure. Cool. Get the...
Well, I was going to say, Zach, I'll have to come up with something for you to say
right
next time, just because I cannot come up with some with some good stuff on the fly.
No, that's fine, because I assume we're not going to actually start the fight until next time.
No,
so
it
won't actually come up until then. We can just... I'm fine with saying, and he knows what he can say.
Yeah.
He may not. I did not roll.
I got a 10.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, you attempt to pierce the veil with a tray to reopen the connection you made with a tray when you bound him, not fully, but just opened his eyes to Azalvo's influence. And yeah, you follow the line which you had almost drawn between him and yourself via this shared place. And it's not necessarily a sense of sight, but just a sense of awareness. As if you were observing someone's emotions and feelings from the outside. It's like a second set of them, like wearing them over your skin. It's a curious feeling. It's not unpleasant, but it takes a moment to kind of acclimatize to the way it feels. You are definitely aware from the pain, the kind of idea of pain running up Atrey's left arm, that something incredibly bad has happened to that. But you do feel a sense of resolve within him still, despite the growing sense of anxiety. And you also realize very shortly he feels your presence, and somehow this does calm him. And you feel in your head just the words taking shape. Don't worry about me. You can do this. And I will say you can take a +1 to the next move you do.
Thank you.
And I will also erase something from a box.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no, I mean, I will put it to you this way. I did not expect I would ever be erasing something from one of these boxes. But that is an uncommonly good thing you've just done. That's probably actually saved you.
Okay.
Yeah, and although I can't think of what would be said, Oathkeeper, what was the role for your for your connect?
So I'm torn. I rolled a 6, but I could easily spend a rage to bump that up to a 7. So on this was a connect, or is this a connect or a pierce the veil? Yeah, because I think you said
this would be a connect. A 7 would be interesting.
A 7, he gets a vague idea, but I almost like the miss result better, which is they know something about him, and I like the idea, like, I know it maybe goes against the spirit, but the idea that they take one look at him and know immediately who he is and what he's probably there for is greatly entertaining to me.
Plus, that gets you an advancement. Well, gets you experience.
It gets me experience. So yeah, it's a 6. What do they want to know about Oathkeeper? What did they learn about him during their last encounter?
I will let you know that when we come back.
Okay.
Just because I would like to think of something.
Fair.
But I don't want to commit to something right now.
Because yeah, it could very well be as simple as they know his modus operandi and therefore immediately go, fuck.
You're welcome, Luke, for helping you write the next session.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm very interested in what that was about. What you have done to perhaps save us, whether it is galvanize Atreyu in some way.
There is a lot of very interesting character moment. I don't want to say development. Yeah, character development moments. I'm very interesed.
Yay! Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
This was a really good session.
Yeah, it was really good.
Having fun. You got drugs and stabbed a man.
I did. I'm literally living my best life right now.
Oh god. Okay then. Super quick. Just images and desires, and whether or not people have advanced them.
Yes. Let me.
I would definitely say Indomitable Queen. For this hive is not being run correctly. I will fucking discipline it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll take it. Social butterfly as well.
I think you maybe made one too many just social non cues.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna say
that is fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been protective of your young, but you haven't been openly like to accost protective of your young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Planning for the future, because she did have a conversation about what she would search for in a mate.
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to say because that almost feels like it would be moving a step up, moving along in your steps.
Okay. All right. Would that be both then? Tagging both, always planning for the future, and then also.
I would say not because the idea is you can now tag a locked-in image to gain a bonus.
Okay.
You no longer hit it for XP because that's now just a part of yourself.
Okay.
But it basically means if at some point you're doing something and you could go, this is me planning for the future. This is me kind of reinforcing my image. You can go, cool, take a +1 on this move.
Okay. So what would you say then for step 2?
I would say you've negotiated a deal. You now have every single step along the line to getting the location you need.
Okay.
So as long as you get this, you will get that, which will give you this.
Okay, and does moving up on a desire grant an experience?
That does.
Okay.
Right. So let's see. Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper's definitely not gone towards fulfilling his goals, but I'm not. Images is questionable. Maybe they must know their sins, since he did reach out at the end to find related to that, but he also didn't really succeed necessarily.
If you feel like he did if you feel like he did hit upon anything fairly heavily and it isn't already an image, you can create an image.
There is an image I think might be growing with him. Based on it, he hasn't hit on it heavily yet, but I feel like it is something that he might something he has in mind, even if it has been having in mind lately, even if it hasn't spoken it. Only knaves involve children.
Oh, that's fair enough. I mean, you like setting standards for yourself, which setting standards which allow you to deviate from your original code.
Yes, he has a value that is not. It is a value that is not directly related to what he does, but it is sometimes, because it is also related in the sense that Oathkeeper does not go after children who've broken oaths, because they generally are not capable of understanding the weight of that.
Zach, come to me and Nate's side of the character where we have really deep and weird family metaphors.
Come to the
parenting side.
Yeah, come to like the parenting side. Yeah.
Basically come to the mom side.
What metaphor for parenting do you want to represent?
Distant foster father.
That's perfect, actually. Paying child support, huh?
But like, because it's Oathkeeper, like dutifully and on time.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
And like maybe even like
emotionally distant, not physically distant.
Yeah.
Mayhap even paying like a little more.
No, not a penny extra.
Oh no! Okay, no, sorry. I'm so sorry.
He provides. He's like he's like Kratos. It's like he's always watching and judging a little bit.
We need to play more Dad of War.
Yeah, we do.
Well, if you're interested after this game, I'll watch a bit while I eat something before going to bed.
Okay.
Sure.
But yeah. So, do you think that would be appropriate, or should I wait till he's acted more concretely upon that?
I would say keep that in mind, and if Oathkeeper does make an action which kind of confirms that is now a new conviction, then you can make that as an image. Well, actually, no. I'd say make it now and mark an XP.
Okay.
And if you act upon it in the next session, then we can start striking that.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I will do that.
Oh, and with
I'm so desperately low on HP compared to these guys.
With locked in images, you only tag them once a scene or something?
Once a session. Otherwise, you could spam that pretty hard.
It would, as much as I would love otherwise, it would probably be unbalanced for Oathkeeper to get like an additional +1 on nearly every combat roll he makes.
That's kind of the idea.
Well, I was asking if it was once per scene or if it's per session.
Yeah, it'd be once per session.
I didn't figure it was going to be a multiple thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Once per session per image, I would assume.
Yeah, per image.
You have more than one locked in.
Yeah.
So yeah, the more certain about yourself, the more you can draw upon that. And how are we looking with Faith in the Power of the Godling?
Yeah.
I would actually say I'd say you actually hit that for that last thing you did this session.
At the end, to really concerned about Atreyu and be like, well, we're connected. I bet it would work.
Yeah, I'd say mark an XP for that, for tagging that, and advance the image by 1. Let's see. Keep the godling asleep fed.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, you hit that as well by just going straight out there and like nightmare murdering a dude and stealing his wallet and buying drugs with the money. I just love that happened. I'm so happy. Just the fact that you asked for angel dust as well. Like none of this weak shit. No, I want PCP. I want to go crazy.
You said not to ask for any fancy designer shit, but I couldn't just ask for weed.
That's fair. That's fair.
I needed them to know that I'm serious.
I mean,
nothing says I'm serious like PCP.
It's like a hooded person in a mask coming up to you and going, I want to buy some PCP. Like, fuck, okay.
You can't make fun of me anymore.
What kind of terrifying cult shit have I walked into? I was going to say, keeping the godling asleep fed. Yep, definitely. Mark a 1 on that as well.
You got it.
And I don't know if you've hit anything else.
I only have 2 images.
I mean, this is the thing. If you feel like you're doing something which could be becoming an image, like Zach is, you can always just create that.
Yes, but I'm not there yet. Does that make sense?
That's fine. That's fine. If you don't think you've quite fully fleshed it out yet, you can still hold on.
Okay.
Neat. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Cool.
Yay!
Yeah. Had a lot of fun.
Me too.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Luke, for the good session.
The good time. Opposable. There's terrible sessions. I get it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Luke, go get some sleep. You deserved it.
I will. I will go and have some vitamin B.
Good night.
Delicious vitamin bed.
I'm leaving.
All right.